stay up late so that he can produce my show at night.
Yes.
We're live! Sweet silver bells, oh silver bells, oh I like science, don't you like science? We like science, TWISmas is here, it's the time of year for TWISmas science.
Well, hello everybody.
Hello! It's our TWISmas party. I hope you are here with a beverage in hand.
Well, yeah, I didn't know we were hanging out, but I happen to have one.
We have TWISmas goodies.
Like brownies.
Kai, tell them about the toppings.
Those look good.
So we made some brownies, and then my mom took out peppermint, and I was like, why don't we put them in a mortar and pestle? Wait, is that
Mortar and pestle.
Mortar and pestle.
Yeah.
And then I basically just smashed all of them and turned them into this powder.
Candy cane powder.
Nice. I love candy
I'm not
canes.
going to like it, but it's actually really good.
It's really good. You can have one now. You can have one.
I've been wanting one.
You want it.
Every year,
It's time for drink.
typically after Christmas, I go and I troll all the big stores that have all the candy canes, and they knock them down like 75% right after Christmas, and I stock up for the rest of the year because that's my favorite candy.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, are you growing a mustache?
No.
He's just Italian.
Yeah, this is just what happens to me normally at the end of the day.
I've ever seen you with facial hair. Ever.
I've been so busy that I forgot to concentrate on it not growing.
So what is this? You've got penguins hanging? Is that?
Oh yeah, I'm wrapping gifts right now.
Oh great! I love this. So
this isn't for any of you, so I can show you. This is a
this is Yo Twisted Wraps.
This is a playground for bugs.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot of bugs in the house, and they just look bored. They just like hang out in the kitchen, like wander around, like looking for something to do. So I got them this playground, thinking maybe they'll be able to I don't know, do something more fun with their time.
It's so kind of you to give a TWISmas present to the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Think of the bugs, man.
The bugs deserve something too.
Thanks
They're part of the household.
the entertainment. Everyone, welcome to our TWISmas party. Blair, Justin, thank you for joining us. I love your Hannukah sweater, Blair. That's good. Did you have your 8 crazy nights? Sacred nights.
Crazy.
8 nights.
The great violent
candle
fun
lighting.
we're having. Wild fun this Hannukah with the 8 crazy nights. It's going to be crazy. That's my.
What is that? An accent? I'm letting
That's
it go.
right.
All right. So anyway, it was 8 nights. It's over now. It was fun.
Did you get
I
lots
got
of clocks and masks?
Yeah, I got some socks. I got a candle. I got a book. This is very, very standard Hannukah stuff. I don't remember what else. Oh, I got an air plant.
Nice. I like air plants. They're easy.
Oh, here he is.
Take care of the air plant.
Look at him go.
Welcome, everyone. Oh, I see. He's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that cute little air plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable. Make sure you give him just a little bit of moisture.
Yes, I have killed
How are
several
you?
air plants already. We'll see how this goes.
Who's here? I see Mark F., John Ratnaswamy, Paul Disney, Rafe Langston, Dak Ramsta. Who else is there? One Grouchy Gamer over on Twitch. Hello. Who's over in our chat room? Gord McLeod, Identity 4, Eric in Alaska, Flying Out, Hot Rod, Huffer, Loquacious One, Ludibrium. V3. Mavic, Noodles, Ollie, Protonic, Coordinem, Rorks, Shago, Shubru, Thunderbeaver, Tim, Web21. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our holiday fun. I hope everyone is getting ready for a nice little winter holiday. Yep. Kai's going to be all excited now that he ate a very chocolate brownie.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's
so
right, Paul Ronovich. It's not a school night, so you can come. Yay! And Kevin Parachan. Hello. Cameron Van Noose. Welcome.
Looks like there are some upsides to COVID.
There.
There are.
Okay, yes, I've told everyone my excitement about COVID is that the COVID Christmas special is that we don't have to travel and we don't have to entertain anyone.
That's true.
It's just our own little Christmas, and I think that's fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for everyone who's watching us right now.
Except for everyone who's here right now with us. Yeah.
Which is probably a lot more than the people on tour.
I don't know. So Kai, what do you want for Christmas? What is your big ask of Santa?
Pretty sure you know it, but I'll tell everyone.
Tell everybody what you want. What are you asking for Santa for Christmas?
Nintendo GameCube. It's like the really old one from 2001.
It's
The
really
really old one?
Yeah, the one from 2001. That one. The
Oh
old
my
one.
god, I gotta go.
The early 2001.
Kai really likes vintage Nintendo.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I really like just playing these really old games.
Brian just overheard him say vintage about a GameCube and he's firing on the couch right now.
Yeah. Well, older games.
Older.
Older games.
He's dead. He
I'm
died.
currently working my way down.
Yeah.
So is it still possible,
modern.
Kai, is it still possible to get those antique video games, the cartridges or whatever they were? 8
Yeah.
tracks?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
get those.
Yeah.
8 tracks.
What's an 8-track?
One step above rocks.
Brian, did the GameCube have a cartridge or did it do discs?
It did discs.
It
It was
did
the first
discs.
Nintendo console to do discs.
Oh my.
I seriously, Kai, if anyone in the chat room has questions about older
Nintendo games?
Nintendo games, ask Kai.
I know everything about them.
He's really been studying a lot.
And telling us all about them.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for
tells
annoying
us-
you guys so much.
Oh yeah, so
Oh, I thought I was driving you guys.
Kromsta in the chat room says all about N64. I agree. That was the very last console that I had. Was the
I mean,
Nintendo
like,
64.
Yeah, the Nintendo 64 is really cool and has a bunch of really good classic games. Has a bunch of classic.
Oh my god, you gotta
Those are
stop.
considered classic now. Those are considered classics.
How many ways can you
Those games are actually considered
Oh,
classics now.
Mhm.
They're old now. They're old now.
Shh! Stop!
Stop saying old.
the O word?
Yeah, stop using the old word.
Okay, I'll stop saying that.
Oh
But
my
But what I'm saying
god.
though is that I'm thinking maybe working my way down in order. I'm basically saying like, okay, I can play. I'm actually able to play all the games from Switch to Wii so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think some of the N64 games are on Switch now.
Yeah, like the Super Mario 3D All Stars pack.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
one
it
of
has
my
a bunch of
favorite
them.
was the pod racing game from Phantom Menace. That was on N64, and
Phantom Menace.
now it's on the Switch, and I really want to purchase that. I haven't done it yet.
Phantom Menace.
That's a Star Wars movie.
Oh.
It's when Star Wars started.
Oh yeah. I guess. I never
What's
watched.
that, Justin? Let me see.
Phantom Menace. Was that? What is that? Ooh,
Oh,
a Switch controller. Someone's getting what they want for Christmas.
is anyone around that would? Okay.
He's got his headphones on. Nobody can even hear. I love the wrapping paper over the microphone. That's yeah.
It's all utility.
Patrick Pecoraro was not expecting so many decorations. Kai and I have Sega. We have been decorating for months to be able. I mean, really, since about August.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been decorating to get to this, but you know, it's great. It's all my production assistants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you haven't been able to cook in that kitchen since August either.
Yeah.
No, because it's covered in decorations.
If you use it at least
Festive.
once, the
What do
entire
you-
thing will fall
stop.
apart.
Oh, magic.
Wait, wait,
Off-screen magic.
wait. Wait, let me do
Oh,
this.
careful of things. Oh, hi, Fada. Okay, thank you for covering me up.
Kiki is gone. This is now my show.
All right, what are we going to talk about, Kai?
Just kidding. She's right here.
We've literally created a monster.
Magic.
That's right, video magic.
Magic. And now, for me to be
Deadpool
erased.
sound.
Yeah, wow. Stephen Rain, Sega Saturn. I totally forgot about Sega Saturn. Wow.
What about the Sega Genesis?
I still have a Sega Genesis.
Is it television?
Oh, we have two in the house. We have two Sega Genesis. This
Way back
is I in the house.
Wait, you have one?
I have one and Brian has one. A Sega Genesis. Yeah. Which I actually don't know if we could even hook it up to the TV now because it has that like weird coax is how you hook it up.
Yeah, old
I
connectors.
think we'd have to
Buy
get
an old TV.
Oh yeah, the RCA cables. RCA.
TV cables. I don't know.
They're the yellow, red, and white ones.
Yeah, no, it was before that. That's how like the N64
Wait, there was something
and the
before
GameCube
that?
connected, where it was with those, but this was a coax cable. So it was like,
Well, it's a big cable with a wire in the middle of it.
yeah.
I remember those, that metal end with the little pin right in the
Yes.
middle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
the cable connectors.
Oh yeah, those are really old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never heard of those.
I feel attacked.
That's ancient history.
Yeah, it actually kind of is.
Oh my goodness. Hey ho, random
Sorry for
genre
making you
talk.
feel old, Blair.
Hey, how about this guy? I used to hand in school reports that I typed on a typewriter.
Wait, what?
You're not that old.
No,
Come
that's real.
Computers existed, right?
Yes, they did. But I
they
did not have one in my home until a little bit later.
They were rare till then.
Computers, yeah, they were not as common
Mm-mm.
for
They-
a long time. Yeah.
And then they were really expensive, and
Yeah.
then they were really big, and yeah.
And then
a
they
laptop
became
didn't
small
even-
and expensive.
I remember
and incredibly expensive.
Going to
and then they became
college
small and cheaper, and then they're like
and living
slightly
in the
affordable.
dorms. And we're living in the dorms and I had a Commodore 64,
Oh, jeez.
I remember those.
but that computer was left at home for my brother, and I was given this like part digital, part typewriter. It was like a word processor.
Like your brother things.
It was like, a
Yeah.
brother thing. And it had the screen that it had was,
Like two lines.
seriously, it was like 2 lines. And so I was typing,
I had
but I
that.
could
I had
My
that too.
grandparents had that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that too, and you couldn't see beyond those 2
Yeah.
lines at any given point.
Or
But
even
then
the,
I had
the
one of
Apple
those.
you had to
Yeah.
hit the
that
small
I
button to
started
make
doing
it
stuff
print.
on.
Yep.
The Apple IIc that I started doing stuff on had the thing where this is what I tried to explain to teenagers and they lost it, is that there wasn't really a cursor and there's no mouse, so you had to delete back up to where you wanted to make a change.
Still
Yes.
painful.
Yeah.
So it was basically
Like,
a
imagine
typewriter.
you wrote really
Yeah.
far, but then you realized, oh, I made a mistake at the
That's
beginning.
Exactly the way it worked.
You
had
have to
do
delete
the entire
all the
thing.
way. Which is why you would just print it anyway and use whiteout and
Yeah.
write over it.
Uh-huh.
Wait, whiteout was
Oh
a
my
thing?
goodness.
Yeah.
Whiteout was
Okay,
a
that one-
huge thing. What's
Yeah, well,
whiteout?
whiteout is
Whiteout
whiteout
is
typewriters.
What you put over the letters so you can write or type them again.
Oh yeah, I think I used that.
I have some around the house.
Yeah,
use
I
it for,
think
like,
I
marking
used that like
machinery
once.
and stuff.
I think I used that
my.
once a while back.
You just
Well,
use it. You
I
just
think I
writing
used
papers.
it.
I think I remember like I drew
Oh.
over something, so I whited it out.
Well, this nostalgia. Yes, the IBM Selectric typewriter. There you go, Eric.
The
Fat
Teletype?
Mac. The Teletype machine. That's taking it back.
Never thought teletype.
King's Quest.
You know,
Oh my gosh, Lisa Adams. I have a
Game documentary
Yeah,
thing.
but Ultima.
Yeah, where that guy made like a game
King's
where
Quest
you'd
was
like
awesome.
send between people and they'd like make moves.
Yeah. Ah, you pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to
There's
documentaries.
A great. What was the name of the documentary? It was 6.
Was it Games That Made Us? Or?
No, it was like
It's on Netflix, and
it was really good.
it's this really cool
Oh, okay.
series about all of the old
Game companies.
game companies and consoles, and it starts with like the first video game company, and it goes through all the history of all these
That's
different
amazing.
groups. And
It was really good.
I really enjoyed it. He was into it. Oh my gosh!
King's Bounty.
What's
for
that?
Apple II.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
here, there's still
Apple II.
discs in here.
Was it high school?
Yep.
Here's
High score.
here's my brother's Paladin save game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that a floppy disk?
That's
That's
a
a floppy
floppy disk.
They use that on the Japanese version of the NES.
Oh.
Yup. Oh, sorry, Dave Gillespie. We're still here. More people are on Facebook. Are you missing our floppy disk expose?
Those are
Yeah.
the big floppies.
King's
Yeah.
Bounty.
Those
Yeah.
were big.
Then there were smaller, more modern
I know. I
floppies.
can't believe you
That were
still
not
have old
floppy.
floppies, Blair.
Yep.
I think
I found this at my parents' house, and I was like, "Ooh, I have to."
You don't get rid of
Ooh, here's my sorceress.
Floppy disk.
Sorceress.
it. That's great.
Blair, I love you.
I wish I
This is
still had
awesome.
that.
I'm great now that I play D&D. I actually really love this. When I found this.
Female wizard, female sorcerer.
Wouldn't you call that a
I
witch?
remember Tamagotchis. Tamagotchis have kind of
Oh,
come
yeah,
back again.
Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchis,
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
came back again. They went away. They came back.
They came back
keep
on the
resurging.
3DS called the Tamagotchi Life.
Mhm.
That was one game that was really popular for some amount of time before the 3DS died.
Mhm.
Yeah, that game looked really, really
I mailed
fun.
you a-
Ooh. Came with a poster.
You have a poster. Oh my
You need
gosh! Put it up.
New World Computing.
Games for us. That sounds
I
great.
know.
Yeah.
I want to.
Old
I
fun.
Some of
think
the old-fashioned Zelda
Ultima.
games.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play
Some of the
Ultima.
really old games.
the
Yeah.
really
old
the-
ones.
here he goes again.
Okay,
Some of
You
the
want to go
really
really old? This is
Who
definitely.
hear you insult on this one? All right, so it's really old games.
I know. Stephen
Ray,
Rain,
like
I
the games that didn't have any computer graphics yet. The
Like-
games where there weren't computer graphics.
Yeah, I
I
think.
forgot what it was called, but it was like a game where it was like either you do this or do this, like Oregon Trail. Was Oregon Trail have computer graphics?
Sort of. Yeah.
Kind
It
of.
was like there was one where it was like just a layer of text and it'd be like choose like from these choices and then type in it and it makes that choice.
Uh-huh.
D&D, kind of like D&D.
Kind of like a little bit like that. Yeah.
Zork.
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 Have you guys watched the show on Netflix about video games called? I think it's called Game Over. Something like that.
No, it was called High Score.
High Score. That's right. Yeah. So you guys watched it?
Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
watched it. That's where I was.
Yeah.
That's how I know about floppy disks, Apple II, all the really old stuff.
Uh huh.
I like Stephen Rain's suggestion here, but I think Blair
Yes.
already has one.
Yes, I do.
I agree that we should open up an ancient technology museum.
Blair,
Yeah.
you could just charge once COVID's done, you could just charge admission to your flat.
Yeah, totally.
And people would
People can
enter
blow
it
on the
like,
cartridges
game
for an extra buck.
You could blow on it. Just
just for the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
You
Going on
don't need to yell. The mic's sensitive.
yeah. You don't
The
have
mic
to
is
yell.
sensitive. I thought it was not very good.
It's fine. It's right
Oh, it's
over
good.
your head.
Oh yeah, good point. It's right above there.
You'll learn about microphones.
It's not right in front of his
What?
face, so I understand that.
Okay.
But we don't have to yell around here.
I just got excited.
I know. So much excitement. It's
Games.
ancient technologies. Oh, Schnago, you worked on Oregon Trail?
Really?
That's very
Wait,
cool.
Amazing.
Wait, he worked on Oregon Trail?
That's what Schnago says.
I haven't played it yet.
You
You
will.
will soon.
I want to die from dysentery.
That would be dysentery.
Dysentery.
Yeah.
Do you know what dysentery is?
No, I don't know what dysentery is yet.
Who wants to die from dysentery?
No one.
No
No one.
But you will on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Does that mean basically dying of hunger?
Opposite.
No.
Oh, dying from over hunger?
Well,
You're gut.
I won't stop there.
Dying from over
Let's see. Shubru has an old Apple device museum. The second Mac, SE30, first iPod, first iPhone, first iPad, first Apple Watch. There we go. I have some old iPods and things as well.
Oh, we have some iPods.
Oh, but the holidays. Hey, Kai, did you want to read us a story?
Yep.
Kai wanted to read us. Oh, having trouble. Okay, there's a systemic issue maybe
Ooh.
streaming to Facebook. So I'm sorry if that is happening. I don't know what's going on right now.
Do we do something to fix it? How do we fix it?
I can't really fix it if it is on Facebook's end. So this says, the warning from StreamYard says, we'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Please check Facebook to ensure the stream looks okay. Here's Justin back. Anyway, we're all good. I apologize to Facebookers. Not that they can hear me. But Kai, did you... Okay, I can remove it and re-add it. Hold on 1 second. Kai, did you want
just call them Facebookers?
Facebookers.
No, Facebookers.
Facebook? Oh, okay, I was going to say, we're sorry for all the Facebookers. And I'm like, was that me? Did I be checking?
We're sorry, Facebook.
Okay, I'm trying to add it back to Facebook.
Sorry, Facebook. We're fixing it.
What do you have? Squishy human body. Oh, amazing.
Squishy human bodies.
That is a fantastic...
Wait, can't the people on Facebook just decide to view it on YouTube?
If they want to leave Facebook and stop picking
This is an unsolicited pre-endorsement. I don't know. Nobody's played with it yet, so I don't know if anybody can choke on it or whatever. So maybe don't buy it yet. Maybe wait for a second review. But this came about because there was a dead rat found in the backyard.
That's always fun.
And my youngest wanted to dissect it. And I was almost gonna say okay. But it was that's a wild dead rat. You shouldn't do that.
Maybe they
don't do that
everywhere.
But I got her this to dissect.
Yeah, and then you'd have to clean it.
Listen, that's a good gift for people who are interested in squishing bodies.
If you ever wanted to dissect something but are grossed out, you should try a squishy body thing.
I used to want to dissect things.
You still could in the future.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened? Why did you stop wanting to dissect things?
They struggled.
What?
Wow. Where'd that come from?
No, it is true. They struggled a lot. The grasshoppers I tried to dissect struggled.
Oh no!
So Kai.
And I started feeling bad for them.
So Kai.
Yeah.
In the world of science, typically, you wait till something is either dead or at least very unconscious before you would attempt the dissection operation.
Yeah, but then I also kind of just felt kind of bad for the animals.
Well, good for you for having that empathy. Later, that later empathy.
That was really funny.
Oh my god! Are you okay, Mommy? Oh, you're just laughing so hard you're crying.
Yep. You got me. You did. Oh. I can't stop. Okay. Woo! Moving on. Kai wanted to read a Christmas story to us.
The night before TWISmas.
Yes.
My mom made me replace every single time I say Christmas with TWISmas.
I made him.
So yeah, if something says TWISmas, that means it originally said Christmas.
Right. Okay. Are we going to do this?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. Get ready, everybody, because it's TWISmas time.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the
Wait! Night before what?
TWISmas.
TWISmas. Okay, let me start from the beginning. 'Twas the night before TWISmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Or science.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter.
What's
Away from to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of new-fallen snow gave the luster of midway to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. When a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, the coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, O Comet on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. And Blitzen.
And Blitzen.
And Blitzen. Oops, sorry Blitzen. And to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry as leaves that before the hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
Splooch!
He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished and with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and his beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside on his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Happy TWISmas!
Oops. It's TWISmas, not Christmas.
Tonight's TWISmas.
Tonight's
Tomorrow's
TWISmas.
Christmas.
No, tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
It is. And did you really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Tomorrow's Christmas Eve.
What?
Well, look behind you, Kiki.
Oh.
Look behind you. Look, that's what all those decorations are
That's
for.
for. Oh my goodness.
That's just to bring the light inside because it's so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
way
need
too dark.
lots of lights, much illumination during the darkest of seasons.
Encourage
Yeah,
the sun
thank
to
you,
come
Kai.
back.
Good reading.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
And we currently have 3 more books.
Oh, that's a lot of books. That's a
They
lot
aren't
of
too
books.
long.
They're not too long.
We have How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
Nice.
That's a good
Days
one.
of Christmas. This one isn't really much of a book. It's more of like a
Really
calendar.
selling it. Yeah.
It's more of a calendar.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have How to Catch Santa. We couldn't find the cute Krampus book.
There's a cute Krampus book somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, we couldn't find it.
I know.
Do you want to take a trivia break first?
Yeah, let's do trivia.
Oh.
What's trivia break?
Yes, Blair, our trivia mistress.
Master's fine.
Trivia master has come up with a trivia presentation questions. Y'all ready for questions?
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this, Blair? Just write, everyone put their answers.
Yeah,
In
there's
chat,
no, it's, the points
It's
don't
casual.
matter. So it's, just throw it in the chat. It's fine.
See who gets it. So you did enjoy the squirrel on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah. Especially a red squirrel, the murderous invasive species in the United States. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
You
I
should
figured,
probably send that back to where it came from.
we should. That they should be.
I know where I should send them. Anyway.
It's time for TWISmas trivia.
Yeah, here's some holiday trivia. So let's start with this one. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, what is the highest grossing Christmas single of all time?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Mariah Carey's song.
That's a good guess.
What's
I'm
that?
gonna guess it's that really sexist one where the girl's trying to go home and the guy's trying to get her drunk.
Yeah,
Because I've seen that that's been in so many movies where the actors
Yep.
are singing it. Versus
That's a good guess.
other...
Eric in Alaska says White Christmas.
White Christmas is another really good one. Yeah.
Hebrew.
Yeah, it was a movie. There was the White Christmas movie, and they sang the song. Yes, sexiness. That's
Okay,
right. The
Here we go.
Mariah Carey
All I
one.
Want for Christmas
Oh,
is
it was White Christmas.
White Christmas. So it's not only the best-selling Christmas or holiday single in the U.S., but also just the best-selling single of all time.
And it also had that Jungle Breakout version. It's like, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
It was like huge back.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a great. We just found a good. If you're into dance music stuff, Cascade has a very good Christmas album. We just found on Spotify. Really good. Good beats. Good Christmas songs remakes. I liked.
Some of them are weird.
Sit down.
Okay. So next
Didn't Bing
question.
Crosby like beat his kids or something? Wasn't he like a terrible guy?
Was he?
Anyway, yeah. think so.
I like to think of Bing Crosby. No. Maybe that's just the bad last name.
It's close, but it's very close.
It's too close. It's too close. Okay, go ahead, Blair.
Okay.
Sorry.
What winter holiday rose to popularity after it was featured on an episode of Seinfeld?
What?
I'm
Roast of
going to guess.
what?
Everyone in the chat
Festivus!
room knows.
It was Festivus!
Yeah, it was Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So actually, something I learned about Festivus is that it wasn't invented by Seinfeld. I thought it was.
I totally thought so too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't. That's why I was very confused.
Yeah, it's a secular holiday. It's celebrated on December 23rd, which is today. Happy Festivus!
Is it
and
Festivus today? Oh my
it's
goodness.
Festivus today, and it was originally created by author Daniel O'Keefe.
Hi.
There you go. So, time for the airing of grievances and the aluminum pole.
Festivus for the rest of us. I
Mhm.
love it.
Hey, how many ghosts appear to Mr. Scrooge in A Christmas Carol?
I mean, you
How
want
many
to say
ghosts?
3, right? But that's got to be a trick question. 4.
5?
Well, there was the one confusing one.
I don't know.
There's a ghost of Christmas past, a ghost
Present,
of Christmas
and
future. But the present one was like, yeah, I don't know. We could talk about you, I guess. But I just died yesterday, and I've got a lot to get off of my chest because I'm not used to this yet. Like, this just happened.
Okay, so we have lots of different guesses in the chat room. Someone says 5, someone says 4, someone
I'm going to say it's 1. I think it's just the one of the past. Because how could the present ghost be a ghost?
7.
Oh, Marley. Oh, somebody. Yeah, I forgot all about Marley. He's a ghost.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
the answer is 4.
4.
It's Juniper Marley is the 4th one. So that's the trick. Yeah.
What is your favorite version of that movie, of the Scrooge story?
Oh gosh, that's a hard. I do really like the Mickey Mouse one, which is what the GIF is from in here. But I also really like the Muppet one.
Oh, the Muppet one is good. I almost got Kai to watch that last night.
So my favorite thing about it, that's also Brian's favorite thing about it, and he'd be very upset with me if I didn't talk about it, is that Michael Caine actually treated all of the Muppets as if they were actors the entire time he was on set.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So he like only looked the Muppets in the eyes. He didn't look at the puppeteers really. So
Oh my gosh.
really good. Anyway,
I once saw that a play version of it at the, I think, ACT Theater in San Francisco. It was amazing live performance.
yeah.
That
I've
would
been
be-
to San Francisco
that
a
would be-
couple times. We went on field trips when I was a kid.
Yeah, live performances are awesome. Random genre talk says the Bill Murray movie.
Oh yeah, Scrooge is quite good. That's my dad's favorite, I think, is
Yeah.
Scrooge.
We have a couple people also who just like the reading by Patrick Stewart.
Mm,
How to like Scrooge.
nice.
I gotta see Scrooged.
It's
Wait,
quite good. Yeah.
What's Kwanzaa?
What is Kwanzaa?
I've never.
Oh. So
Kind of.
the next question is, when is the first day of Kwanzaa celebrated?
Is it like January 1st or is it like Christmas Day? I don't know.
Kevin Jones says December 26th. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess January 1st.
January 1st is your sexiness says the 14th.
It is in
December
fact
26th.
the 26th. It's the day after Christmas. So each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa, so kind of answer your question, it's a 7-day celebration. And it actually is, it pulls from different celebrations from all over the continent of Africa. So a bunch of different cultural traditions are pulled in together as part of Kwanzaa. It was actually invented in the 1960s. And each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa has a name and a meaning. So the first day on December 26th is Umoja or Umoja, which means unity. So there's a little meaning and a lesson with each day. Pretty
Oh,
cool.
we should look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll check that out.
Yeah.
That's what Kwanzaa is. I've heard people talk about it. I'm like, wait,
Mhm.
when's Kwanzaa and what is Kwanzaa?
Yeah, but we can check it out starting on the 26th.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Blair.
Yeah. What country holds the record for the most Santas surfing at one time? Is it Australia, the USA, or Norway?
It's gotta be Australia. It's
Australia.
But then I want to say Norway just because that feels like it's a trick question.
Yeah,
I
because
just
they're
have
immune to the cold.
I have to pick Norway because it's like my peoples.
I'll
Right?
go with Australia just because
Really,
I feel like
considering
all the good surf in Australia.
yeah, all the people who surf in Australia and that
Yeah.
there isn't really snow there,
Yeah.
Right.
or any reindeers nearby or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and it's also very warm. So I'm guessing maybe Santa goes around by jet ski.
So yes, the important clue here is that what is the season that Christmas falls during in
Yes.
Australia? It's in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, it's summer in Australia while it's
Right.
winter here. Yeah.
So in 2015, 320 Santas gathered on Australia's Bondi Beach for a surf lesson, and they set the world record.
That's great.
The world record for the most Santas surfing at once.
Yeah, I think almost
I think we can
everybody
break that.
was voting for
yeah.
Australia.
Before that, the record was none.
No,
Yeah,
that
that's right.
and that was just an accident. It was like, hey, you're wearing a Santa suit too.
Yeah, hey, you're wearing a Santa suit. Oh, look, everyone's wearing a Santa suit.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So, what was the name of the little girl in the Nutcracker?
Oh.
I used to
Oh,
go to
my
the Nutcracker at the San Francisco Ballet every year with my mom.
Clara. Her name is Clara. I
Yeah,
don't
that sounds right.
remember
Her name is Clara.
Then by
Yeah.
doing like a name that usually appears in movies.
her name.
Annabelle, I guess. That's a name that's usually in movies.
Clara. Listen to your mother on this one.
I'm just like, I don't really know much. I don't remember much from the Nutcracker, so I'm like, I'm just gonna pick a name that usually happens in movies. So I'm like Annabelle or something.
Annabelle? Does that really happen that often?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of
Name
people,
two
a lot
movies.
of people in movies are named Annabelle.
Name 2 movies with an Annabelle in them. Just 2. Aha. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. What does the Hebrew word Hanukkah mean? Does it mean celebration, dedication, or festival?
Celebration.
celebration, says Kai.
This one's for you.
I know it doesn't
Isn't that
mean
clever? Isn't that clever? It's
Oh, yeah.
reflective.
Oh, yeah.
Who's this one for? Who's this one for? I don't know. Why don't you look at what does it say? It doesn't say anything. But what do you see? Me? I guess it's for you.
Does that mean it's for you, Justin?
Oh, it is for me. Why did I even bother wrapping it? Now I'm kind of annoyed.
I wrapped my own present this year. I bought myself
Yeah,
a
it just
book.
said from me to me.
It said it's to me.
I'm like, wait, who's me?
Me. It's me.
Me.
Yeah.
Me.
I made sure I get at least one gift.
We actually were going to give you like 5.
Awesome. I'm
But I
gonna.
guess you
You
didn't
said
get any.
celebration. I'm gonna go with you, Kai. We'll go with
Yeah,
celebration.
because I know it definitely is.
No. It's Hanukkah is the festival of lights, right? So it's festival.
Festival.
No. Yes.
No,
No.
it's celebration.
I'm going to go with dedication just because it's the answer.
It's dedication. So it's dedication because Hanukkah is about this oil that lasted 8 days. It was only supposed to last 1 day, but really it's related to the rededication of the second temple.
Are they up to 2 now?
No, they're up to much more than that. And it's bad that I don't know, but I want to say it's like 7.
So Adam Sandler's, of course, source of knowledge.
Adam's. Yeah, I should probably not use Adam Sandler as my source.
I'm going to actually look that up while you guys are looking at this one. How many gifts in total were given during the 12 days of Christmas?
How many whats were where?
How many gifts in total were given in the song, The 12 Days of Christmas?
Oh,
That's
12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus
No.
8 plus 7
Yeah.
plus 6.
Wasn't the 12th
It's-
day nothing because she died?
no.
Oh.
There was a 12th day. So it's 1 plus 2, that's 3. Plus 3 is 6. Plus 4
Is 10
Plus 5 is 15.
Mhm.
Plus 16
plus
is
what?
21.
6 is 21 plus
plus
7
6 is 21. Plus 7
is 28.
is 28. Plus 8
8
is 20.
36.
6 plus 9 is 46.
5
45.
Mega Slime Putty Lab.
12
plus 10
plus 10,
it's be 56.
56.
Plus 11
Plus 11 is
6.
67.
Uh-huh. Plus
Plus
12
12 is 79.
79 says Kai.
79.
Kai did math.
Okay, well, everyone's going to get mad at me, but the answer is actually 364 because if you listen to the song, they give each gift
Oh, because they iterate.
Again.
every night. Yes. Yeah. So it's actually a factorial thing.
Oh, that
Anyway.
But you did great adding, Kai.
Yeah, that was very good math. Yeah, it was actually.
Great math.
Anyway.
dang it.
Hey, where did eggnog originate?
England.
England, USA, Holland, or France? Kai says England.
England.
So I've never heard about it anywhere but here, so I'm going to say USA.
Why did you not put in hell? Because I think eggnog came from hell.
I agree. I agree. I hate eggnog.
Because
It's not good.
It's super bad. I hate eggnog.
Oh no, I think you guys have been having the wrong eggnog.
Oh, yeah,
Someone
from the
says Holland.
noggin. There you go, Stephen Rain.
Someone says Holland.
What? Eggnog does contain, the real eggnog does contain raw eggs. The real stuff, you make it with raw eggs, lots of booze, and it's, just don't, you should not drink it.
Because it has raw eggs in it.
I believe in eggnog in the same way that some people believe in fruitcake. It's evil.
Well, anyway, it
England.
originated in England.
I got it right.
That makes sense. Kai
So
just don't
the
trust my-
The exact lineage is
Touch the mic.
under debate.
Putting it back where it
No,
was.
don't touch the mic.
It's supposed to be.
But they think that it actually started from something called posset, which is a hot, milky, ale-like drink, so no eggs at all. And by the 13th century, monks were known to drink a particular kind of posset that did add eggs and figs. There you go.
Name one beverage monks aren't known to have drunk.
Fair. They didn't have a whole lot else to do.
Just sat around drinking. Here's to the big guy. All right. Oh, wait, the silence thing. Is this a silent one? I can't remember.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. Definitely not. What is the name for the Indian Festival of Lights lasting 5 days in October or November?
Mega Putty Slime Lab.
Oh wait, no. Is this the one with the color where everyone throws color at each other?
I don't
No.
believe so.
No, because that one is great.
That looks awful. Are you kidding me?
Diwali.
Hey, let's have a holiday where every time you're like walking downtown, somebody's like pelting you with colored dust.
It's not just no. You don't.
Yeah.
It's special festivals for it, and it's
It is,
amazing.
yeah. Don't hate. So Diwali is one of the major festivals celebrated by Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs. Excuse me. The festival usually lasts 5 days and is celebrated during the Hindu month of Kartika. There you go.
So now I want to know. So, what is Kartika?
So it's one of their months. So just like Hannukah moves around because it's a lunar calendar, and so
Yeah.
their months are different. So it's basically it's the same concept. It's
Yeah.
different from the Gregorian calendar, so it moves around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. In Greece, what are kalakantzaroi? Are they goblins, candles, or presents?
Oh, what do you say, chat room? I have no idea what this is.
I'm going to guess candles.
I personally like goblins. So
Goblin.
I'm going with goblins because personal
do you think?
preference.
I'd like it to be goblins.
Okay, I'll go with goblins too. I think
Goblins?
I think it's
Christmas
candles.
goblins. It is Christmas
They're
goblins.
goblins.
Christmas goblins.
Yes. So I fell down quite a little rabbit hole because this was very interesting to me. So these goblins stay underground. They saw the world tree constantly all year, trying to make the entire earth collapse. But when they're about
because
to
it's
fall-
flat and on top of a tree.
I guess. So
Okay.
when they're about to saw the final part, Christmas dawns. They're able to come to the surface. For some reason, between Christmas and the New Year, they're able to come to the surface. And they forget the tree, and they come to bring trouble to mortals. It's from December 25th to January 6th. Then the sun starts moving again. They return underground, and they continue their sawing. But during that time, the tree has healed itself. So they have to start over again. And so this is an annual cycle.
That's great.
Yeah.
Christmas goblins.
There you go. Kali Cancer Roy. And then this is our very last one. When
Safada
and where?
if that is where Krampus came from. I
Oh.
wonder if
No, Krampus is different. Yeah.
Krampus-
Wait, is this the end of the trivia or the end of this round of trivia?
This is the end of all of the trivia. This is all I have.
Oh.
for you.
Oh, I thought this was just one category.
Yeah, no, this is all I
Okay,
have.
one category trivia. Okay.
Hey, I didn't see you make any trivia, Justin.
I was gonna, but you're like, I've got a whole show's worth of trivia already prepared.
Okay,
Nobody
yeah,
will do
that's what I
anything.
sound like for sure. All right. So when and where was fruitcake invented? Was it ancient Rome, 1700s England, or 1920s New Jersey?
Sounds like New Jersey.
No, no, with all those preserved little fruit bits.
It is
Sounds like New
1700.
Jersey.
1700s England.
It's probably going to be ancient Rome though, but my vote is going to England.
I think it's. Is that depression times yet? I don't know.
Yeah, 1920s were depression times. Ish.
It sounds like here we just turned all the food into this rock that nobody can eat. That way it'll last longer.
I think England.
England.
Let's see. People are saying England, 1700s. Fada's family still owns that original fruitcake. Mails it around.
Someone
Very
says
funny.
Rome.
Yeah,
Conrad says, I'm sure it's one of the three.
Yeah, it is. Good
Correct.
job, Conrad. Yep.
Yeah.
We've got Shoe Brew with Jersey. Oh no, New Jersey for sexiness over on Twitch.
I don't think it's New Jersey.
You don't think it's New Jersey? We'll
I'm
find
gonna
out.
go with England.
You're going with England too?
Ancient Rome.
It really is that old.
Yes. So the earliest recipe lists pomegranate seeds, pine nuts, and raisins that were
That
mixed
picture-
into barley mash. In the Middle Ages, honey, spices, and preserved fruits were added. So it's a
That
very
picture, that picture you have there of Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas special.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone brings him the fruitcake, and so he ends up fixing his wall with it. He uses them as bricks.
He built a whole room actually with a skylight.
Yes.
Yeah. My family watches it every year. The
Pee-wee's
Pee-wee
Christmas special is fantastic. That's another good one.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Blair. I learned things. I was surprised. That was great.
Wait, are you doing another one before the New Year?
What?
Another twist?
Yes, so we will be doing another twist before the new year.
Are you going to do a New Year's twist?
We will be doing next Wednesday, which is what, the 30th? 31st? 30th?
It's 7 days plus this.
30th.
If this is the 23rd.
Because I can math.
I got it. I'm on
Thank
it.
you. Yes, the 30th. 30th. It is our year-end countdown show.
Yay!
So we, next week, count down our top 11 science stories of the year. And by stories, we don't mean books. We mean discoveries. What happened this year? I got a great list from John Ratnaswamy. I don't know if he's still up watching, but on Twitter, he sent me a message with his picks for the top 11. If anybody has their own picks for top 11, you can email them, Kirsten@thisweekinscience.com. You can, if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag top 11 top 11 science, and we will see your stories. Or was it top 11 2020?
Top 11 Science 2020?
I don't remember. There's a hashtag involved.
But
Just type it in
the whole point is they have to use the same hashtag, otherwise
I'm looking.
we don't actually see
You can
it.
just type it in until it turns
So-
blue.
You know how disorganized I get.
Let me
That's
see
fine,
what
but-
you tweeted lately.
Got too many computers. Bada knows.
You tweeted a lot. This is hashtag top 11 science.
Top 11 science. There we go. Yes, top 11 science. Thank you, Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, too bad. Kev B said someone got someone sent a Facebook post with a number for kids to call the Grinch, but it wasn't actually the Grinch. It was Nancy Pelosi's office. Wacka, 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 wacka. That's no fun.
Who's Nancy Pelosi?
She is a senator from California.
She's the Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House. Yeah, she's a bigwig in our government.
And
Yeah,
they said,
she's-
this is the phone number for the Grinch. So they called in like, hello, Grinch.
I don't know. That sounds like a joke. That doesn't sound like that actually is what happened.
Imagine if that did happen, and they're like, hello, Grinch.
Top 11 2020. There we go.
Although actually,
Are you leaving?
I'll be back.
actually,
so
that wouldn't surprise me if that was a
hashtag
true
going
story.
out there.
It wouldn't surprise me that if that was a true story.
Yeah. People actually want the Grinch. They don't want to be calling that. Yes. Okay, so next week we will be back with a show. What are you drinking, Blair? What's your beverage there? Is that a Guinness?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's a Guinness?
It is an Irish beer.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
it's a dark beer.
It's a stout.
Yes, it's called a stout because it's stout.
What's a stout?
They say it's like
Yeah.
drinking a loaf of bread.
No, people have through the years tried to rationalize drinking Guinness in large quantities. What is it? You drink Guinness, have a lemon, and also have some butter, and you'll be fine.
That seems reasonable. That seems reasonable in a number of scenarios. Not all of them, but in some scenarios that make.
You should test it. Maybe Daddy should.
If you're experiencing scurvy,
Seriously.
lemon will come in handy.
The lemon, you won't get scurvy. The butter will make sure that you continue to have fat for your neurons to function. It's great. I have used Guinness in the past to make waffles. It helps make really good waffles.
Wait, what?
You get fluffy batter from the carbon dioxide.
What do you?
You know the sleepy waffles that your mother makes?
What?
The sleepy waffles that your mother makes? Those are the ones with the Guinness in it.
No, that's the one.
The ones where right after breakfast you go and take a long nap? Those are the ones.
I have never fed you Guinness waffles.
Well, it doesn't matter. The cooking would cook off the alcohol anyway. But what do? You replace the milk in the recipe with Guinness?
Yeah, you replace some of the liquid with Guinness, and then let it.
Exactly like milk.
It's not exactly like milk, but you let it sit and rise because the yeast and the carbon dioxide lets it rise, so you get really nice fluffy waffles.
Ooh, I'm trying that for sure.
Why don't you just put carbon dioxide into it? Why don't you just put carbon dioxide into the recipe?
They don't just have carbon dioxide. Well, I guess your dad does.
Yeah, we have some carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Just spray a bunch
the
of carbon
plan is
dioxide into the batter.
I think that would be messier than what I'd like. Because it's in a liquid and contained in bubbles, it gets released more slowly. And also Guinness might have yeast still that would have actions.
So then just add some heat.
You could also add yeast to the batter. It's true.
Carbon dioxide yeast waffle batter. You get like that type of waffle.
But it's not a Guinness waffle.
Without alcohol.
Right. Yes. Okay. My child is helping.
Idea brainstorming.
Yes, brainstorming it out. Working it out. Oh my goodness. It's TWISmas, y'all. How's your rapping going, Justin?
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, he muted.
Yeah, wrapping paper can be a little bit noisy, but I think it's going pretty good. I've got
A stack of them. Look at
a
that.
little collection growing over here.
Yeah, you do.
That's a lot
That's great.
of presents.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're getting fidgety, chocolate brownie child. It's been an hour of sitting in one place. You've done really great.
Yeah. Usually I'll be running around by now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't think we need to read another book, though. I think that one, I know. We'll read The Grinch before bed. How does that sound?
No.
How to Catch Santa?
Yes.
How to Catch Santa is a great one. Kai is planning to drink many glasses of water tomorrow night so that he wakes up in the middle of the night.
Precisely 12.
We're going to change that. Patrick Pecoraro, yes, I am using a green screen. This is not my house.
This will never be her house.
Thanks, Kai.
Because she doesn't want to put this much effort into decorating something.
Well, I just don't like cleaning up.
I know, that's the problem.
The decorating's fun. It's the cleaning up that's hard. Yes. Oh, Random Genre Talk has a cooking tip for a thicker sauce. Take normal rice, crush it to a fine powder, and put it into your sauce for 10 minutes. Thicker sauce. Interesting. So it's using the starch to thicken things up.
That's just like rice flour, right? That's like the exact same thing as rice flour, I presume. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's a thickener. Yeah, that'd be great. It's a roux. It is, except instead of using wheat flour, it uses scrunched rice. I love it. Oh, Sion Sings, first time catching this stream. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. It is a totally different event tonight than it normally is. Pro move, leave the direct decorations up all year. We could do that. Who does that? Blair?
No.
I left
So
my Christmas decorations up from last year until about May? I did.
Yeah. I've done that. I turned it into it was what was the order? I think it was a Valentine's Day tree at one point, and then it was a St. Patrick's Day themed tree, and then a 4th of July tree. It's actually, you can decorate a tree themed up for the next holiday. There's no point in taking it down. But it was a plastic tree, so
if it's a plastic tree, you're not getting those needles. Yeah.
So that's like
But I did have a relative growing up, and this is always confusing. It was I don't know if it was my grandmother's, one of her sisters or something like this, but it was like a great aunt. Their entire living room stayed Christmas all year. It had a tree with snow. It had all the ornaments. It had little figurines. It had a little train thing going. It was all year. And when as a kid, when you would go visit, she would give you a Christmas themed like little figurine or an ornament that you could put on your tree the next year. You got something from Christmas, and it was like amazing. And as a kid, you're like, you mean we can do that? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have it be Christmas all year. Why does anybody take it down? It never made sense.
It's special.
Well, apparently, to some people, it can be special all year round.
Year.
That Christmas spirit can stay there and never go away.
But also,
But,
this feels less special when it just kind of continues forever.
Have you eaten this almost whole plate of brownies?
Yes.
What?
Oh no. Well,
I'm gonna have some trouble sleeping tonight.
I have good news and bad news. Kai, I think you're gonna have no problem sleeping on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Is the good news. Bad news is it's because you're not gonna sleep at all tonight.
Uh-oh. Also, I might have to go puke.
No.
My stomach feels very bad. I think I eat too much. I think I ate too many brownies.
Oh no.
It was little bite by little bite.
I'm sorry, Kai. But you just
and the plate's almost
just move slow and lie down for a little bit to let the digestion work. Just don't go overexert yourself. You'll be fine. You'll make it. Just remember, gravity will continue to work.
Eggnog, you should be fine.
You're not gonna float
We're
away.
gonna give him some coffee to go along with those brownies.
Uh-huh.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
We could do that.
That could be a great idea.
Oh, I guess we're back on Facebook. Yay! Oh, did you get a TWIS mouse pad? Look at that cute thing.
Oh. Yeah, you wanna check out dueling mouse pads?
Ah, another TWIS mouse pad. Brilliant.
Where's yours, Kiki? Ow! Wait, where's yours? Me and Blair showed off our TWIS mouse pads. Where's yours?
Mixed coffee with brownie batter.
I don't know. It must be upstairs with my other computer.
Yeah, the other computer.
Yeah.
studio.
Just pick up anything green and change your green screen.
I know. Do I need... Wait, no, I don't need to be covered again. Magic Kai disappears. TWIS swords. That would be something fun for Zazzle. Can we have TWIS swords?
I don't think TWIS makes swords.
I don't know. This is sort of like a Willy Wonka thing, but something I think those were invisibility brownies, or maybe they were diminishing brownies.
Like
I don't know what they were, but
Special
Yeah.
brownies.
but now your child is turned into a disembodied head. Just
One
floating
brownie
around.
I think
makes
that's a
you
problem.
larger,
That might be a
one
problem.
brownie makes you small.
All right, I'll be right back after these messages.
I would like to have I would like to have coffee with the brownie batter. That sounds delicious, but that's not something I feed the children.
Because I hate the taste of coffee.
Oh, you would love it, but mocha brownies, not for the children.
No.
No. Oops. Justin went away.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. So we should get together next week, Blair.
Get together?
Not together. No. I mean, we have to, when Justin comes back, we have to figure out a night for or a day earlier on the Wednesday. Are you working next week for us to go over the top 11?
Okay. Yeah, I am. But we could figure out something.
Yeah.
Yes, I am working. I'm working tomorrow. I'm working next week, Monday through Thursday also.
Okay. So we'll figure something out. Dave Gillespie says, if you're from Sweden, all the decorations get taken down January 13th, St. Knut's Day. That sounds reasonable. I think January 13th is a perfectly good time to take decorations down. It gives you that like through the holidays, and then it gives you a little breather where you're like, it's not the holidays, but I really am tired and I don't want to take the decorations down yet. Invisibility cloak. Haha, she brew. Random Genre Talk says that everything is better with a sword. Kai,
That is very true.
if you have to go away, be careful of the cable.
That is very true.
Everything's better with a sword?
Yes.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Are you doing anything tomorrow, Blair?
Working.
Working tomorrow. Are you working Christmas Day?
No, not working. That is a national holiday, so I don't have to do anything.
Good.
Yes. No, I'll bake all day on Friday probably. But
Nice.
yeah, should be good. I've done most of my wrapping already. Get the dog. Brian's gonna come say hi with the dog.
Please stop rubbing
I want to see the dog. Where's Brian?
it. Dog.
He's coming.
Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Oh,
It's a
Sadie.
corgi.
Yeah,
It's a
Doge.
corgi.
Little Doge.
They're corgis.
It's a corgi. I know.
It's a corgi.
It's super. Sadie's super cute. How are you, Brian?
Good. How you guys doing?
Great.
Tell them your news.
Oh yeah. So I got the first wave of vaccinations for COVID.
You're vaccinated. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
halfway.
Halfway done. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is wonderful.
So
And
it's
everything went well. Like how
yeah,
did
it
it?
was easy. It was like my arm was a little bit sore, but the same as like the flu shot, so nothing crazy.
But not worse. Not worse than that, really.
No, not at all. Yeah,
Interesting.
it was easy breezy. Apparently, like the second dose might have more side effects, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's what people have said. But
Mhm.
if you didn't have a ton from the first, then hopefully
You shouldn't have as
hopefully
serious
it's not gonna be
stuff from the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last thing I read said like 16% of people or something like that have a mild fever after the second dose.
Oh, that's not
But only like 3% or something like that have a fever after the first dose, which is interesting. Specifically for the Pfizer vaccine, which is the one that he got. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have.
yeah.
Yeah. So Gaurav, yes, that would be the Pfizer one because that was the only one that was available. Now Moderna has gotten the EUA, so Moderna would be available possibly also.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they're distributing both of them at your hospital? So it's both now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No, I don't think. I think they're working through Pfizer right now, but
Yeah.
the Moderna one, they do have that one as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I know the Bay Area specifically was getting looked at for Pfizer because of the need for it to be so cold, and we had the right facilities.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the reason that he was able to get one right away, which is great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel a lot better about him going to work every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're watching Brian go off to work, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
be safe.
Yep.
It's like, what's gonna happen? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's pretty nice to know that he's going to be protected pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's
so
like
it's,
50%.
yeah. So 2 shots altogether. They said first one's about 50%. The second one's like 95.
Yeah. So within probably a week or two of just the first shot, you probably have at least a little bit of a immune response.
Yeah.
Just
I
with
think
the halfway. But yeah. Somebody's brownies have kicked in.
I think I've had a bit too many.
Yeah.
So now I need to burn calories.
Just run it off right there. He's running in place.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, so many of us, I think it's great. Watch out for the cable, kiddo.
Okay.
So many of us are like waiting for the vaccines to be more widely available, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if this is speaking out of turn, but I'm very excited that he was in the first group too. Like they were doing it right. Like the hospital admin staff weren't the first people to get them. It was the actual frontline workers. So seems like people are doing it the right way and really prioritizing correctly. So it's given me a lot of faith in the system before, it becomes all of our turn. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. Were you nervous getting it at all, Brian? Or were you like, no, I'm happy with the clinical trials and I'm good to go?
Well, I've been talking to a lot of people. Blair did quite a bit of research prior, and then a bunch of the staff. So that it dispelled a lot of if there was nervousness, it kind of got rid of it pretty quick. Because especially some of the doctors that I work with were part of some of the clinical trials early on, like the blind trials. So yeah, that kind of yeah. Not when I actually got it, I wasn't nervous at all.
Good. Yeah, I think if people do their research and ask the right questions to make themselves comfortable.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
If I feel like if people are if they don't feel comfortable or they feel nervous about it, doing a little bit of reading will help, especially with what they found.
Yeah. And especially if you're not, for those of us who live in our basements and rarely go outside and are not going to be among the first people to get the vaccines at all, there'll be a couple of months of people ahead of us that will be like,
yeah. So you'll be able to see how I respond. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Just because there's a vaccine doesn't mean the pandemic is over.
You're right, Kai, and that is
Just because there's a
That's true.
vaccine doesn't mean the pandemic's over.
Right.
Everyone has
They'll
to
wear
get
masks
vaccinated
yeah.
before the pandemic will end.
Yeah, in fact, he got a mask with his vaccine. So that's, random genre talk wants to know if he got a lollipop, which you did not.
They ran out. So.
But he did get a mask. So
we don't have a lollipop, have a mask.
Yeah, they gave me mask. It was mask flavor, so it wasn't that it was fine.
It wasn't that tasty.
yeah.
Oh, I let Justin back in when he was taking tape off of his microphone. Good timing on my part.
Oh, and Hot Rod wants to know if vitamin D is on your daily list of supplements, because that was a study that came out this week. It's very preliminary, and we should talk about it on the show at some point. But
I saw that a long time ago, and it was.
What's preliminary?
It's not a final.
Early. Yeah.
So my understanding, and I'm just guessing because I didn't read the whole thing. My understanding of it was that it was only effective for people in Nordic countries or people who never leave the house and get any sun. It was something.
I mean, he
Not
works
the
nights, so
Never leave the house. That's
But
what
yeah,
anybody.
we have it. People are staying home indoors, avoiding outdoor activities or other. Of course, everybody needs vitamin D. Of course.
Yeah.
But not too much. But the right amount. But just enough. But not too much. Because you don't want to You can have too much, but not too little either. So just do the right amount. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then the right amount is like, what is the right amount? Because
I have no
study
idea.
the study from several weeks back that we talked about, where we take this precursor form of vitamin D that's not an active form, it's an inactive form of vitamin D, and our body has to activate it to be able to use it. And the question is whether our body is activating it and how much of it it's activating. So you could be taking 10,000 units of vitamin D a day, and you have no idea how much your body is actually using.
Yeah.
Do you have the right bacteria to metabolize the vitamin D? Do you have, what other stuff do you have going on? Kai, stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's the deal. That's the idea with a lot of supplements, right? Like you
Yeah.
just end up peeing a lot of it out.
Yeah. Which we did get you vitamin D, but
Yeah.
you take it sometimes. Right?
Yeah, sometimes I totally. Yes.
Sometimes, maybe once or twice.
Yeah. I take the heck out of it.
Yeah, we should get you back on that vitamin D.
I mean, it's a. Yeah.
I can use the computer.
Oh, it's at work. Oh,
It's on the stream.
yeah. Well, and Kira asked Paul asked in the chat room if teachers will get it soon because people are so desperate to get rid of their children. But didn't your friend who's a teacher
Desperate to get rid of their children? Oh my God, Blair!
Didn't he say he was in like an early tier?
It's I don't know about later early tiers.
Later
for sure.
early
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 2. Because there's like 1 A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And then there's like 2,
Yeah. So before me, for sure. But after him, is teachers.
Yeah, teachers are going to be prioritized. It's just a matter of, in which order. And the thing is, it's like, it's not necessarily going to be the same in all places either. Different counties, different states are going to prioritize stuff as to their priorities.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And in the chat room, somebody's asking about students getting vaccinated versus teachers. And part of the thing is that children carry less viral load than adults. So that's part of the whole thing too. But now they're pulling that into question. So that might not actually be true.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's definitely,
and it's especially with the new strains of COVID that are spreading. There are 2 that were reported this past weekend. South Africa and the UK have these 2 different strains that have mutations that potentially make the virus more transmissible. And what happened with the D614G mutation, I think is what I think that was this summer, the mutation that took over that made it more transmissible. The transmission made it so that kids started getting it more and younger people started having higher viral loads and carrying it more. And so if transmission is easier with these newer strains, which they're still figuring out, then that potentially means that it's going to be even more younger people, kids having viral loads. And so it's
interesting too. Just because I have updates on this, Denmark has had a really big spike. The age range of that spike was 15 to like 25.
Yep.
It was high school, maybe even junior high school kids, up to some young adults. People who were still congregating because, I guess largely and we've seen it here too. The myth of the youth invincibility was perpetuated infinitum during this pandemic. Kids don't get it; they're immune to it automatically because they're just tough little people, and they're too small for the virus to get in there. It's all absolute nonsense. So what happened is, those groups were given less precaution. You would see adults going around with face masks, but not the kids. And that's here as well. That's a myth that kids don't get it. The fact that they don't get the severe symptoms doesn't mean they can't be little vector machines, and it also doesn't mean that they can't possibly get long-term health effects
Right.
from it.
And-
Because
and
as
some
if
kids
we've
do
learned
get pretty
anything
sick.
about this virus, it's not doing just one thing.
And on top of that, it's like forgetting that every virus, the more it spreads, the more it's replicating, the more mutation it's going to get. And so we have no way of predicting which direction the mutations are going to go. And what it seems to be doing, which you would expect, is mutating to have more transmissibility. So to think that the hubris of thinking that we knew everything immediately about this virus as soon as we started pulling in the slightest bit of data, and that we could tell what we should do for the next year, 2 years based on that, like, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on it. Keep on it.
Yeah. He's going to keep resuscitating people.
Yep, fully geared still.
Yeah. He's going to go in there dressed like a spaceman.
Yeah.
Stay nice and healthy. Be fully vaccinated soon. So.
Do you just listen to David Bowie, like the?
Oh yes,
just in my head, only in my head.
Yeah, that spaceman track, the David Bowie song. Like
I mean, yeah, there's typically some weird song pops in my head too when it keeps me calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we do have a couple of different chats. Ulysses just popped in, and it is getting in both the chats. We got a couple of different chats, the YouTube and our home website chat for sure. Fada wants to know more about the new strains. NASA, Patrick is saying that NASA has a Dr. Fauci who's very informative. Yes, NASA has great researchers there as well. Oh, and Patrick is saying, yeah, that's part of why the ignorant don't trust the science, because it keeps changing, which they don't realize is the thing that happens. And they think it's being made up as they go along. And that's, I think, a big part. Yeah, getting to the point where you understand that not everybody has the answers and that it has to be figured out. And there are a lot of smart people who are working to figure it out, but
yeah, a big part of that, I think, is the way science is taught in school. We only teach really these it briefly, and we teach it as, here's these known things that are laws that are immutable, and people figured it out a long time ago. But not the practice of science, which is, hey, we don't have the answer to this. Let's see how we can go about finding it out.
yeah.
And so when science is in the process, people don't recognize it. They don't appreciate it. They don't understand that that's the same thing that took place for all those unmutable laws that they learned that were, figured out a long time ago.
Yeah, so I mean, all my stuff with NOKI, the National Network for Ocean and Climate Change Interpretation, there's a whole
Say that
thing
again?
about.
Wait, what was it?
NOKI, the National
you said it too
Network
fast.
for Ocean and Climate Change.
Wait, now I'm talking over you saying it.
So
Hang on.
anyway,
Slow down.
They
Slow
talk
down.
about science communication, and one of the main fallacies for science communication, one of the main traps that you fall into, is something called invisible process, which is basically this exactly what you're talking about, that they talk about, like, scientists say blah 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 blah, and so it can accidentally sow distrust in the process. But I think that something, especially with the vaccine, that we talked about a bunch, was that, like, the news doesn't cover every year the process to create and then approve the flu vaccine, right? It's not talked about the way that this was talked about. And so there's no compare and contrast. So a person who doesn't spend the time to research the process and just hears kind of how it's talked about doesn't see the real similarities and difference to the normal vaccine making process, right?
Yeah, this is the first time a vaccine has ever been invented,
Yeah.
and they just make up some stuff and they're hoping it works, and they're going to put it in your body, and then people,
Yeah, exactly. So that's the invisible process, right? Is that we
But it's
don't
also-
talk about how
also
it works normally.
it's also because this is that mechanism in storytelling through a lot of sci-fi, whereas like a vaccine turns people into zombies or something. Like, wasn't that even like the?
It's a trope.
Was it Legend or what the heck was that?
Legend.
Gosh, awful, terrible sci-fi. It was like the worst.
I Am Legend.
No, is that what it is?
Will Smith.
No, yeah, it was Will Smith.
Yeah,
With Will Smith, and it was like apparently the vaccine that made everybody into Morlocks.
Is that the story with that one? That was a vaccine?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? I was counting on you to remember.
I don't remember.
But still,
Yeah, it was like sometimes science goes too far and ruins everything. And
yeah, I mean, so there's so many sci-fi, like sci-fi movies and books where it's something happens in a lab, and scientists made either a vaccine or they're messing with an organism, and something escapes from the lab.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it still coulda.
Yeah, it's kitty time. You guys, Sadie barking over there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Brian. Go get the dog.
He's gonna go take care of the dog, and then he's gonna take a quick nap before work.
Aww.
All conspiracy theories aside, this actually still could have escaped from a lab. Like, that could still actually be a thing.
But they tested it. They said
No. They tested that whether or not it was engineered, which I didn't believe that somebody was trying to engineer this and then.
You want to go now? You don't want pets?
But the idea that it could escape from a lab, it's really not far fetched. Like it is insanely difficult to contain a virus. It's just insanely difficult.
Well,
and
we can't clean space things before they go to space properly either. So
no, we don't. We can't even in the clean rooms in NASA have bacteria that are eating like lead paint and living off ammonia that they have been cleaning the floors with. Yeah, it's like life finds a way.
Yeah.
Identity for his dad thinks it was engineered in a lab, and I mean, people. There are people with knowledge who think it's possible it could have been engineered in a lab. There are people with knowledge who say no, this was not engineered in a lab. It comes down to we don't know the exact source yet, and but it is something that
they're looking for it.
They're looking for it, and it is possible for viruses to naturally evolve that end up causing pandemics, and we shouldn't just immediately try and blame it on a lab.
Well, and the vast majority of those are going to come out of Southeast Asia because that's where half the human population is. The population density, the temperate weather there, where people are going to interact all year long. That's why the hits keep coming from there.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm talking about it coming from a lab, though, is you cannot trust the information from a totalitarian dictatorship government style thing. You just can't.
Absolutely agree. The fact that
you have to go in and look and see where, because I think my guess is they're trying to look for the next one, because there's a lab right there in the outbreak thing. That's why everybody.
And it's a biosecurity level 4 lab.
Which when they tried to build one in Davis, the guy who was the head of a level 4 biolab said, "I don't want it in my town." Yeah. Because he knows how difficult it actually is.
Do you remember years back when they were talking about building that biosecurity lab in Davis?
This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
They were looking for the new location. Yeah. And around that time, there were security, or it was shortly after or around that time, there were security breaks at several biosecure containment labs that are part of the CDC across the country. There was one in Georgia, and there was another one. And
the anthrax that was getting sent out, that was still anthrax, that was live, that was supposed to not be, and yeah,
there were things, but they were mistakes. that people didn't follow protocol and mistakes were made, and they discovered, and it was like the CDC let the news out it was like they had discovered it, but it was several years after it had actually happened, but they discovered the data that these samples weren't stored the way they were supposed to be, or these other things might have actually escaped from the lab for a little bit. And the stories came out. I remember reporting on them and talking about them, and basically talking about the fact that people are fallible. You might have systems in place, and the systems might be infallible, but people are fallible. We're gonna make mistakes, and that's just gonna happen, and you have to build that into your system. And I got blasted by a lot of researchers who were like, no, the system works. The protocols are in place. And I was like, do you see these reports of what
So, and the conversation I had was with he was a retired professor from UC Davis who had worked previously at a level 4 lab, and he was against it, because this is where he was gonna raise his grandchildren, I guess. So there's this weird not in my backyard aspect to that too.
Totally.
But there is greater danger to it than anybody who's enthusiastic about the science that's being done wants to talk about. And that's not okay. You still have to talk about, we went through this all with nuclear power. Like, there's no problem here. It's normal for fish to have 3 eyes in your lake. No, you actually have to, you have to do it right. You have to do it right. That's the only thing. Even in the pursuit of science, which there is no more noble cause than
I like the marked comment here. If it supposedly COVID, if it was engineered, they didn't do a good job. That's true. I mean, it's an
we killed the vaccine in less than a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't believe any of the engineered things, especially because first of all, why would you then unleash it on your own population as a test run? The whole thing is nonsense.
If it were engineered, they were doing gain of function experiments. So the thing is, there are all these level 4 labs, and the thing that they do that is the controversial issue is gain of function, which is taking genes from another organism or another virus and making a virus more transmissible, or making a virus more deadly. And so it's figuring out what parts of the virus are essential for the virus. I mean, it's really good research to try and figure out the pieces and parts of these viruses. It's super smart, but at the same time, then you end up with super transmissible, super deadly viruses that are contained in this lab, and accidents happen. And so that's the thing. It may have been engineered, probably not, but it may have been, and if it did escape from the lab in Wuhan, then it was an accident, and it was not something that was like China's trying to. I don't believe that it was a thing that was meant.
But then I wouldn't necessarily put that past China. Well, the thing I'd really say though is, I actually think if that's the case, I could believe the scenario that China knows what virus was being studied and from what vector it came from, what animal it came from, what region it came from. It wouldn't share it. I just believe that because they're an information totalitarian top-down society that controls tightly image, information. It's propaganda, so you can't believe. That's why it was so important that we had pandemic researchers in Southeast China and in China actually doing studies and looking for stuff and investigating. It all got pulled before. Got cut from the budget before this pandemic hit. I don't think it's going to get cut from the next budget. I have a feeling it's going to be in there for a while.
No, if I remember correctly, we did some misstatements politically and got all of our people kicked out of China. China kicked us out so that we couldn't be there on the ground.
That's not how I heard it. I heard the budget got cut. Why are we spending money to research viruses that are going to happen in China? We should only be looking at America.
No, we
Oh.
got kicked out. But beyond that, it was, what we do have is the genome, and that in itself is the data. The genome tells a story, and we have the mutations that we know about. We know about other strains and other viruses that it is related to. And that's what the researchers are doing. And they've been able to really take it back pretty far to its origins. And I think that's pretty amazing. And the fact that we can keep tracking now, I love that it's like people at positive cases. Oh, let's just do, take this PCR and actually do a sequence, right? We did the PCR, but let's just do a sequence to see what it is. And they do these random sequences in the UK, here in the US, lots of countries do it. And it just keeps track of how the mutations are coming and how it's changing. And the fact that we're able to do this now, 20 years ago, we couldn't do this. The gene sequencing for this stuff, we would not have been able to keep track of these mutations.
No way.
This is what's going on now is it's amazing.
Yeah,
Our
keeping
technology.
up with it in real time.
Yes,
It's
I know.
it's a huge benefit.
Yeah. Meow. Meow. Okay, cat.
Nope. Sadie likes you meowing.
She's like, what? Meow.
Oh, she went and laid down. She's
No,
tired.
okay. Yeah, Stephen Rain, we have come a long way from 1918. Yeah, random genre talk. I think I agree too. I mean, we had the damage you can do from hacking is more realistic in terms of money impact than bioweapons even. You can have a much broader impact by
I
hacking.
mean, we proved that a pandemic and an insane unemployment rate didn't actually do as much to our stock market as we thought. So,
Right?
yeah, so that is a very fair point.
To our economy, sure it did. Our stock markets, not so much.
No.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Thunder Beaver. I'm sorry your internet's not doing well. Dave Gillespie says, when I was in grad school, it took me 5 years to sequence BRCA1. Seriously, like the speed at which things are happening are so amazing.
The T-cell rapid kits that they're talking about for COVID testing is very exciting to me.
Yeah.
The one that like Bluetooth syncs to an app on your phone. Yes, this is what we need. Take your COVID test before you get in the shower. By the time you get out of the shower to go to work, you'll know if you're COVID positive. You'll know if you should go to work or not.
Can we make it as expensive as a cup of coffee? So maybe you buy the $25 device that plugs in to your phone or Bluetooth to your phone, but then it's like a little paper saliva strip that you stick into it, and $2 a day. So, you have the device, but then after that, it's just super cheap. That's something that could be used by so many people.
Yeah. So this one that they're talking about right now is $30, I think, per use.
Which is still expensive, but better than...
But here's the thing.
Better than $250 for a test and 5 days to get a result.
The people working at the grocery store or at the hospital or who are teachers shouldn't be paying for that.
Right.
Their workplace should be paying for that, or the government should be paying for that, right? So, I think at that point, we're all dealing with funny money anyway. It's irrelevant. Just government, instead of all this other stuff you're worried about, whether we're streaming things we shouldn't be for some reason, that's part of COVID relief. Enough of that. How about instead we focus on getting these rapid tests to people who have to go to work?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
It is absolutely the most ridiculous, shameful, dumb thing about our democracy that our COVID relief bill is mostly stuff that has nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
That is, politicians need to stop. This is what we don't like about you. This is what we don't like.
5,500 pages.
This is not you doing your job. It's not.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I'm going to say it on his way out. Maybe it's the one thing that can't be right. Never mind.
No, don't even.
No, I'm going to give that.
Don't even. Because those politicians are the ones who got him there. So it's not.
It's just like, just stop. Stop it.
What I don't understand is if you have 5,500 pages of stuff, right? Then that means you could figure out the complexity of giving the money to the people who need it instead of just sending the same check to every human in the country, right? You could do the legwork to figure out exactly who needs it, what they need it for, how to get this done properly, instead of just everybody gets $600. Because there are some people out there who never stopped working, who don't need that $600 as much as the person who's been out of work since April, who could use the $1,200 instead. So I really don't understand how if they can figure out the complexity of a 5,500 page bill, they cannot figure out the complexity of who needs relief or rent relief or any of these other things.
Yeah. They don't really care.
No.
They really come down to it. They don't really care. They just want their jobs. They want to be hired again by the people.
So a couple things there.
We passed the bill. It's on my record. There we go.
One of the things I would say is like I don't care who could give the money to everybody. Like I could give a damn. That's not what it is though. It's like part of this is to build a wall. Part of this is to open a cultural awareness museum. Like stop it. Everybody has a pet project, but get them all out of this bill because none of we didn't like. Just take it back. I think we should just get the axe pick handles and start overthrowing the government.
But give everyone $2,000. Let's do that one.
The blanket checks. Here's part of the problem. The blanket checks that went out in what was it, April?
Yeah. Didn't go to everybody.
I don't remember the exact percentage, but it was more than half went into people's savings account, right? So the idea was they were like, oh, we'll give everyone this $1,200. They'll go spend that money on the local restaurant, and they'll go to that store that's floundering, and they'll go to all these small businesses, and they'll spend this $1,200. So when we give somebody $1,200, we're really giving a bunch of people $1,200 many times, right? But that's not how it works if you give everybody $1,200. If you give a poor person $5, they will spend that $5 immediately. It goes right back into the economy, right? But if you give somebody who has a savings account $5, it goes into the savings account and you never see it again.
But my point is like, there's way more poor people. So just give it to everybody. If a billionaire gets $2,000, they won't notice, and really neither will we, because there's a lot more poor people than there are people who make even $5, $4, $3, $200,000, $100,000, $80,000 a year. Most of Americans live below the poverty level of the town I live in. Most of America. So I wouldn't worry about those details this round. In this emergency, if you're talking about
this is my point. It's 5,500 pages. So details, they worried about other details.
They worried about everything but.
Yeah, that's the only point I was making. I'm not saying they shouldn't have given everyone money. I'm saying if they figured that out, they could have figured out a better solution to this problem.
Totally.
Multifaceted. Okay, we're going to give everyone $600, but we're also going to make sure nobody pays rent. Nobody pays back rent.
Well, they did extend moratoriums on evictions,
but it's
although those aren't being followed everywhere. Those still aren't being followed,
and you can still have not paid rent for 10 months and owe $30,000.
Yeah, because where's that money gonna come from all of a sudden? Back pay? No.
And then there was that whole thing about we don't want anybody to be able to sue their employer. for unsafe
Right.
work conditions because of COVID when they were forced to work without PPE. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You don't want
No
to
hazard pay, no PPE, no extra sick time.
which is fine. I'm totally fine with that if you have universal health care. You get rid of a lot of litigiousness in this country if you want tort reform, you want people to stop suing. If you just make it so if somebody gets hurt, they don't pay for anything, you're good. Then it's like, oh, I stumbled and I twisted my ankle on your sidewalk. You know what? Not going to cost me a dime.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
What?
It's TWISmas! Can we stop it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop
Okay.
it.
No, you're right. You're right.
Oh, look, I got blurry. I got too excited. There I am.
So, in the story of the Grinch that tried to steal TWISmas,
Yes!
there was what you remember the Onceler from the Lorax?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Grinch was like trying to give the Lorax pass a law for the Lorax that kept the Lorax's employees from being able to sue because he forced them to work in unsafe conditions.
Yeah.
It was like totally. Do you remember that TWISmas story? That's
Yeah.
a really good one.
That's
Sounds
a really
like
good one.
it sounds like Ebenezer Scrooge for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there is a bit of Scrooge in the world right now. Bit of the Grinch. There are some hearts that are 2 sizes too small that need to grow a little bit, but I mean, maybe we need to come up with some more heart transplant technologies to be able to make that work.
That'd just make them live longer.
Maybe we should just,
An enlarged heart is bad, is it not?
We're gonna spritz dopamine into the air, serotonin, make everyone feel better.
Oh, I'm doing
What does
really
it say on that
terrible.
wrapping paper, Justin?
Best
We're
Xmas ever! You're gonna love this! Christmas!
Good.
TWISmas!
Here, I'm gonna stop my camera for 1 second. I'm gonna go show you my wrapping paper.
Oh, getting some wrapping paper. Blair will be back in just a moment with wrapping paper. What? Shubru, your mom is having guests tomorrow? Just say no. What did you do, Blair?
Oh, nice.
That's
Dinosaur.
fabulous.
This is Brian's present. Shh.
That's great. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Look at
So I
the
have that, and then I
festivities
also
of
have like
dinosaurs.
an undersea theme and a sloth theme. So here.
Wait. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
love
Hannukah wrapping too that's narwhals with yarmulkes on, but I didn't use that for this, obviously.
Obviously. That's so great. Oh, I love the sloth.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Just chilling. I'm gonna chill in my tree.
That's what they do. My little baby tree
I think it's great.
with the Star of David on the top, of course.
It's perfect. Just mix and match holidays.
Yeah.
It's great.
Listen, the Christmas tree, it's secular in origin, so I don't.
It's pagan in origin. Quit trying to take pagan holidays away. Okay, random genre talk guy in the YouTube chat room. Justin is so drunk, even I feel dizzy, and I'm sitting in Europe. Okay, so I have to address that. Where in Europe are you?
You're not addressing the drunk part. You're just
No. I'm just curious, like, where in Europe? I'm like totally curious where our listeners are at.
Oh.
Yeah, Ulysses, I miss Ed a lot. I was actually just thinking about Ed yesterday.
Yeah.
I miss that guy. I miss his take on things.
Random genre talk is in Germany. So Eric and AK was in Alaska. Daniel Smith, Australia. Hi there. I love it. People all over the place. Carol Ann in Norway. No, Blair is seeing the Twitch chat as well. Blair can see it. I mean, it may just go right past her. But.
Yeah. Was there a Twitch thing that I was supposed to respond to? Oh, dinosaur wrapping paper. Yes, that is what it was.
She was busy showing off the wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Yes. We have
I'm
Houston,
running out
Patrick Pecoraro, Utah, Dave Gillespie. Yeah, Pamela is probably doing other things. That's fine. Ohio, Justin Steiner. Hello.
Patrick, what link? I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to watch
Patrick
over.
sent me a link. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh, look at all those presents. You're so Christmassy.
Oh, I should also say I did look up the temple just so I can not be under or misrepresenting things. So there were 2 temples built in Jerusalem. The first fell. They built a second one. There have been multiple attempts to build a third temple, but I don't think there has ever been a completed third temple.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Daniel Yount, Jerusalem, City of Salem. Kenny got a Venus. What, you're on Venus? No. Tacoma, Washington. We have Paul Disney. We have Ulysses, who's in the Washington area. We also, who else do we have? Shubru, 500 miles away from his mom. There you go. Not even the guard people. There we go. Yes, so it's a video on wildlife at NASA JSC. It's a nice video. You might like it.
How did you send it to me? Oh, Facebook chat. Okay.
Yes.
I will look.
Interesting. It's just it's nice. At first I was like, oh no, NASA, wildlife, are they going to talk about animals dying at launches? But no, it's just about animals on the property. That's great. All the species and stuff. Great.
Oh, Justin disappeared.
Justin is just gone now. He has given us his presents.
Wait, I'm still here. You can't.
You are. Okay.
Hang on.
Cappy.
I just need to.
Stop it.
Here, let me fix the camera. All right, there we go. All right.
Wall of presents. Wall of presents.
Okay, hang on. I'm over here. Can you see me? Where?
No?
Oh, here I am. Hi. Hi. I'm still here.
You are. That's fantastic.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. There's another present.
Oh, cool. Carol Ann's been watching Saturn and Jupiter. It's very, very cloudy in Portland most of the time, so I haven't seen anything. That's right. Justin's building the wall.
If only it was made out of presents.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Our kindness and our giving spirit. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Sexiness, good job finishing your homework. It's great. Y'all need to do homework.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I saw the same message. Grouchy Gamer, you can't spread rumors about me, or I can't stop you, but also I can see it. So I'll just be very upset.
Yeah. Hi, Cappy.
Unless it's a good rumor.
Hi, Zoomy.
Congratulations on your second Nobel.
Oh, thank you.
How did I miss the first one?
I mean, I didn't go the second time to the.
No, I know this. Ceremonies get old.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
I know. She keeps giving me drive-bys. She goes back and forth underneath my legs, and then she sits and looks at me, and then she goes and she scratches on things, and then she comes back and looks at me and does a drive-by again.
Oh, that's Hot Rod. No, I didn't know that, Hot Rod. Why are you in multiple chat rooms, Hot Rod?
Just to confuse people.
Ooh, Noodle says Mom loves a calendar. Oh, thank you for the reminder.
Yay.
Calendars. I'm giving some out as gifts this year. I'm very excited.
Yay!
So hopefully you'll actually get to use your 2021 calendar this year. Also, speaking of promotion, by the way, I was on the Daily Tech News Show yesterday.
Nice. What did you guys talk about?
Oh, well, I got very excited because there was a story I didn't bring last week because I didn't have enough time that I thought was very cool. And it was about using stingrays and electric rays and pinger technology to map the ocean floor.
Wood.
Yes. So basically, because rays are benthic, so they just scoot along the bottom of the ocean. In theory, if you put pingers on them, then you would know, you'd be able to map because they're hugging the bottom of the floor. And so it was a test of concept study. So they did it in a lab, and then they did it in the wild in an area of ocean that was already mapped. So they could compare and contrast their results from this with what they knew the map actually was. And it was correct within 10 centimeters, which is pretty darn good, considering there are areas of the ocean that we have no idea what the floor looks like. So if it's within 10 centimeters, that's pretty good. So their next step is to try it on an area that's a little more varied. And then if that works, because of course their first test space was pretty flat. If that works, then they'll start dropping them in parts of the ocean that isn't mapped. But one of my favorite things about it is that electric rays, because they have their own little electric current, they can actually charge the pingers with the electric current of
What?
Yeah. So they had to develop battery packs for the stingrays, but the electric rays, they powered it themselves.
That's amazing.
Cool.
Yes, I talked about that a little bit
amazing.
more on the Daily Tech News Show yesterday.
Very cool. Yeah, so if you haven't checked out the Daily Tech News Show recently, go find Blair on it.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Daily Tech News Show is always very good, so I highly recommend the Daily Tech News Show every day, except Saturday and Sunday, because they don't.
Yeah, what else did we talk about yesterday? Apple cars, which, yikes. VR, other fun stuff. But
did you get to profess your fear of the AI?
I think they already know. But I did talk about how I was very concerned that an Apple car would suddenly decide to update and then things would stop working. I also didn't get to tell my other jokes, which was, what, is the car going to come without a steering wheel and you're going to have to pay extra for that? How often are they going to change the plug? That I wish I could have told
Blair. When is your stand-up routine?
Yeah, I know.
I love this.
Anyway, yes, I have all the Apple products, but I do not have a soft spot for some of their marketing techniques. So, anyway.
It's not marketing, it's the selling new stuff techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So that people constantly have to buy new stuff.
Planned obsolescence. If it was up to me, I'd still be using my iPhone 4. Yeah. I'm pretty upset that it just iPhones just keep no longer working when apps update. They're just like, hey, your phone's too old. It's very bothersome. But
it gets clunky, it's not good.
I don't like that they keep getting bigger. I wanted a phone that fit in my pocket.
That was convenient. I remember those days.
Women's pockets are also small. So it's like a whole nother complaint that I could do.
Yeah.
The women's pockets are either fake or small. So
you need one of those phone carriers that has a strap.
Oh God!
Wear it around your neck like a necklace.
So first, Kai spends 20 minutes calling me old, and now you're going to tell me to carry that.
Okay, so speaking as somebody who's a little older than you, I would actually like an iPad-sized phone at this point because the vision is getting very difficult on this tiny, tiny device. I think like a newspaper-sized phone would actually be. You know, it can fold. It can fold in half, maybe again.
How far away do I hold it?
I don't want a foldable touchscreen either. I honestly, the last time I changed my phone out, I really thought for a second about getting a flip phone. But this is what stopped me. Is I need maps now.
Yes.
It's the part of my brain that I used to navigate the world without GPS is gone. And that's the main reason I will have a smartphone for the rest of my life, is because I can't get around without GPS anymore.
I mean, you could just put the maps in your trunk like we did in the old
Oh
days.
yeah, the Thompson's guide? What was it? Thomas. Yeah, totally. And I still have a map. Street map of San Francisco in my car.
I think they're in a box in the basement here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I had my first job driving the Zoomobile, we had to print MapQuest maps.
Yes.
Before going to a school. And I remembered very specifically that they were like, oh, you should print a map to get you there, and then you should print a map to get home, because it's not always the same, especially in San Francisco, right? And I would be like, no, I'm going to test my brain. And so I would never print the return maps, because like an extra 5 minutes on the way home, who cares, right? And so that was my way that I like learned the city, is I'd try to like remember how to get home without the return map. But yeah, and we had binders. We had binders with the alphabetized school names, like A through H, and then we had these like 4-inch binders with these maps that we printed, so we wouldn't have to keep printing the same maps to the same schools every year.
But wait, didn't you print them at that time?
So
or
like,
would you Xerox them?
Well, no. So we would print it.
You already printed them.
Pull it out and then take it. So it would depend. Like,
so it was still printed. You still printed them. It wasn't
like,
so that you wouldn't have to print them.
We've been to before. Let me look in the binder under their name. Have we been there? Great. I'm going to take this out and take it with me, and then put it back when I get back.
Oh, put it back.
Or
okay.
If it was a school we hadn't been to, we'd look it up on MapQuest and print it out.
No, I had one of those Thomas guides. One of my first jobs was doing delivery driving from a wine and food deli, and a second job at a florist, both in LA. So I was doing most of the west side of Los Angeles territories. And that thing was like, you look up the name, and it would give you the page number and the coordinates, and then you go to the page and then coordinate. But then sometimes you're driving between pages, right? And you're like,
yes.
Okay, so I got to go to this page and then you've got pages like taped over the windshield. So you're like, okay, I think I'm here. You had to hold your finger on there. For the little icon, you didn't have a little icon that moved, so you had to hold your finger on the map the whole time while you drove and looked at this map that's covering the windshield. Mm-hmm. It was rough times. Yeah, the GPS is way better solution.
You know, my favorite kind of moment like that, which now it just scares me, is that I had this car in college that like it was a lot like everyone's first car, I guess. It had its quirks about it. There were things about it I absolutely loved. It was a Nissan 300Z, and it had a T-top.
Yeah.
And it was
a nice first car.
It was a 2-seater. It was an 87. It was like it got like 12 miles a gallon. It was great. But for the last like year that I had it, the defroster didn't work. And so if I drove in the rain, you see, I drove with a towel.
Wiping and driving.
Yes. And so there were a couple times that I was doing that, and I had a printed map. So, I'm very lucky to be alive. Yeah.
Dave Gillespie. I was a driver pre-internet, says Dave Gillespie from the YouTube channel. Yeah. Just memorize the map. Yeah, if you live in a small enough town, like I wouldn't need a map probably in Davis. For most of Davis, I would be able to find anything.
Yeah, it's as soon as you go out of your normal
14 million people. That's a little trickier.
Yeah, it gets more complicated if you just move out of your little bubble, right? But yeah, that was also, of course, I had one of those CD holders that went on the back of the
Wow. Yeah. I have a picture of that.
The sun visor.
Back of the visor. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of those. And then I had like a zipper pouch with more CDs in them. So those are like my favorites that I use the most. Were right there. And then you had like behind the seat, you had the little accordion folder with all of the CDs in it.
What am I missing? You guys talking about your old CD collections?
Blair was reinforcing the idea that she's much older than she thought she was.
Well, the car I learned to drive on had a tape deck in it.
Oh yeah, mine did too.
Yeah, and so.
Oh no! I gotta take that. Did it even have a tape deck? I think my first car definitely had a tape deck. Yes, it did.
My car had a tape deck. Yeah. Oh my God. Are we going to play that I'm older than you are game? I don't think
No,
we can.
I win.
No.
You win, Justin.
Game over. I win.
Yeah. Although, like, who's oldest at heart is the question.
Wait, are you saying who's got?
There, you're right. Down there, next. That's you down there.
I don't know. Are we talking like we need to do a biopsy? Are we talking?
I hope not. I need to live another 107
cardiograms?
years.
Like, what are you talking about? Young at heart? Like, are you talking whose cholesterol is better? Are you going right to that? That's one way of looking at it, I guess. Who's got the longest telomeres? That's what really matters, right?
No, because we just talked about this.
It doesn't matter.
So I do have to, before things get too crazy, I found a story that there's no way I'm going to get to talk about on the normal show. So I just want to read you
the top 11. So yeah, bring it up.
I just want to read you the headline real quick. Researchers make high visibility vests to help monitor bee behavior.
Wait, what?
Vests?
Wait, are they
Bee
putting
vests?
bees in reflective vests?
Yes, University of Sheffield and the Bumblebee Conservation Trust have been trialing new low-cost ways to monitor bee species in the UK by dressing bees in high-visibility retro-reflective vests.
What is retro-reflective? I mean, reflective I get, but this is like from the 60s?
I don't know. So this is part of their tracking technology to figure out ecology of bees, to figure out their foraging, navigating behavior, and their nest preferences. They have previously used harmonic radars, using radar tags, but those are heavy. And so they're smaller bees that aren't like bumblebees. They're not sure how to track them. So these reflective vests were able to detect bees from up to 40 meters away. And they were still detected a week after deployment. So these vests last. It's the same fabric as cycling high visibility vests. So like biking vests, basically.
So they're like, yeah, like the cyclists or construction workers wear.
Yeah, like crossing guards. Yeah.
Yeah, that reflective material, but they're putting it on bees.
Yup.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, here, let me see if I can. I'm going to screen share. I haven't watched this video. We'll see what it is. Might not be worth anything.
Really, Cappy? What are you telling me?
Oh, yeah. Look at these little bugs.
Hold on. Oh, here I go. Hold on. I'll get it added to the stream. There we go. Wait.
Watch them go. So there's a human in there, but
I don't see anything on the screen.
the black square. So that's nighttime.
Square. Oh, it's
Yeah.
nighttime. Okay.
So it's a video, and you can see these little white dots moving around.
Oh, look! I gotta get really close now because I'm not wearing glasses.
Yeah. Those little white dots moving around. They're bees.
There's a human. I saw a human in there.
They're there wearing their little reflective vests. There it is.
Way to watch
Bees
bees
and vests.
at night.
So anyway,
But bees,
I
I just figured. I thought bees just slept at night. Bees aren't out doing stuff, are they?
I guess they are.
I think that also is a yes, right? Bees are out at night.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
That seems weird.
Bees don't even like to go in the shade.
They don't. Well, I know bees need certain temperatures to be for everything to be
about?
cool. If it gets cold, they don't move around. But what?
So some species of bees are out at night. So
Some
there's a bunch of like beekeeping blogs that are like, why are my bees out at night? So that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, I need to take a short intermission. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You are the intermission king.
Ooh, got him.
So I'm wondering if I can. Oh, I know how I can do that. Overlay. I'm gonna. Oh. Will it do the video overlay? Maybe I didn't load. Oh man, I didn't load it to the right place. I'm trying to find a video of something that I want to add to my stream because it will be fun. But we'll see if I can get it. If I figure out where I put everything. I hide things places in the downloads. Where did you go? Blair, I am. So, did this study? Did they do it specifically in? Is it a particular species of nocturnal bee, or is it?
Look. I didn't see. Okay, the system proved successful in monitoring 7 wild species, over 100 individuals across 2 field sites in the UK, including a wildflower patch at the University of Sheffield. This involves smaller-bodied species such as honeybees and the solitary leafcutter bee. So 7 wild species.
But some of them.
Oh, this isn't a nighttime camera. This is a monochrome Raspberry Pi camera.
Okay.
So I think that is daytime.
Daytime.
I do believe. I'm not sure. I didn't do the kind of background research I usually do for stories.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I just think it's so
I don't know.
interesting.
I just thought it
Oh
was
my
cool.
goodness. Overlay. Oh, but you're not there. Oh, you just want a picture. I see what you want. Darn it. Okay, things aren't working the way that I want them to. But that's okay.
Ooh, Carol Ann, that's a good idea. I'm going to check on my packages. I have so many packages that are supposed to be late.
Yes. How are everybody's Christmas deliveries doing?
Not good.
How's that going there?
Really bad.
Marshall sent a package on December 4th using the U.S. Postal Service. It left Portland and then disappeared.
Yeah.
Until a week ago when he started inquiring, and suddenly after inquiring with the postmaster and looking for everything, they found it again, and now it's in Baltimore, and it's supposed to be going to somewhere in Pennsylvania, near DC. I don't know, but Baltimore's not that far from DC, but it's been 3 days still since it landed in Baltimore, and it's still in transit.
Yeah. So I had delivery estimates, and all of them disappeared now, and all of them just say in transit, arriving late. Yeah, I gathered.
Yeah. Oh, great, Thunderbeaver. Thunderbeaver says, hey, guys, I was in a cafe earlier in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, had an interesting conversation with the owner. She said she didn't fully trust science as a whole because of big pharma and environmentalists who cry about how we'll suffocate because trees are being cut down. Paraphrasing. But that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How do you put that into an identity that you talk to?
Thunderbeaver continued, one thing I took away is we need to educate on how the big medical companies do not equal the scientific community and remind people what vaccinations are and how they work. That's totally true.
I think that's a huge take home. Absolutely.
Yeah, is that, you have the process and then you have the sales. And those are like two very different things. And especially when you're talking about pharmaceutical companies, there's what the drug was made for, and then there's what the drug is sold for.
Yeah.
And that does, I admit, you can't help but have some distrust there when you hear about what happened with OxyContin and stuff like that. You know, like there's a question there, and there's a problem in the supply chain with prescriptions, but that's generally not how vaccines work. So, like, when we're talking about vaccines, that's totally different.
Yeah, totally.
That's like an apples and oranges thing. But unless you understand that nuance, I could totally understand how the umbrella of medicine could sound like a problem.
Yeah. And then on the environmental side of it, yeah, people are polarized. You know, environmentalists say for a long time, camping out in trees, to save owls, you know, which when you're coming from a logger's perspective, you want your job, and the logging industry has a different perspective. But, then it comes down to how can you find common ground?
Okay, so the way is you get Wall Street out of it. So, specifically about the logging one, it was a junk bond dealer who bought out Pacific Lumber and started just clear cutting. And what that does, though, is it also reduces the longevity of the loggers' jobs.
Yes.
Because if you do a ton of clear cutting, you stop having jobs in those areas. Yeah. You do an approach where you're going to cut over here this year while you're planting there. And it was it was actually a pretty managed system to some degree before Wall Street financiers got in and said, no, just cut as many trees as you can. We're going to maximize the machines that cut trees, and we're going to automate and reduce jobs and shorten the life of that industry in that area. And that's when those people were tying themselves to trees and doing these other sorts of things with Earth First and some other movements that we're trying to prevent. And the spotted owl is a legitimate thing to try to preserve.
Yes.
If it's biome, it's habitat.
Yes. Yeah, totally agree. I think that's a really interesting point that you bring up, where it's when people come in from the outside who their main mission is maximizing profit. It doesn't, everything is an ecosystem. And so if you come in to maximize profit, you're negating the ecosystem that the loggers and the wood and everything exist within. And it's just a means to an end. And it's
okay to have Christmas trees.
Yeah.
It just, you also have to have a Christmas tree farm. Otherwise, at some point, you run out of Christmas trees.
And I think Christmas trees are such a great example of how it works, because Christmas tree farmers, they're planting new trees at regular intervals, and those trees take 6 to 7 years to reach maturity. And so those new growths they're growing. And meanwhile, they go, okay, you can cut over here. Okay, we're going to cut over here. And it's a rotation, and it's the same land isn't always being used, and they rotate and they put different crops in there to help the soil. And it's like, it seems very cognizant of all the factors that go into it. And it's not just cutting everything down and then having nothing until the trees are big enough 7 years later. Yeah. Right.
And so some point I'm going to probably have to take this to a different show even, or different platform. But some point I'm going to illustrate to people that, or it'll just become news at some point, maybe, like people will become aware of the problem. That same clear-cutting mentality by Wall Street started taking place after the housing collapse, when we were bailing out banks, but they were buying all the foreclosed homes and renting them back to people. And it was such a good, profitable business that they've kept doing it.
And they're going to keep doing it.
Wall Street funds, even your own 401k, is making it so that your kids cannot buy a home, but only be able to rent one forever. They are clear-cutting home ownership in America right now. It's a thing for, it's a different topic for a different show someday.
Woo! Maximize profits. Yeah, no, maximize science.
Keep biggering and biggering and biggering.
Mhm.
And bigger. I mean, can't we have infinite inflation forever, ever, forever, ever? Right? Forever? It's just going to grow forever, right? I mean, there's no limit
Until
to-
a loaf of bread costs $100.
I honestly want to take every Wall Street person and make them take a basic class on ecology and ecosystems.
No, forget that.
Yeah.
Forget that. What you do
Okay.
is you just make them live on minimum wage for a year.
Great. No. I don't know if that'll work.
I liked the one that said, take everyone from Congress and make them live on $600 for a month.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
absolutely.
somebody immediately replied, no, just do a week. They couldn't even make it.
I couldn't.
No.
Not. They'd be making all sorts of well, I can't do this, so that doesn't count. I'm going to spend my money, not the $600. No, this doesn't count. I can't do it on that. Of course, you can't do it on that. Ulysses is part of the Wall Street complex with the Robinhood app. That's a little bit of it.
Mhm.
Little tiny deals.
Wait, what do we talk about? I don't know. I'm unfamiliar.
The Robinhood app. It
Yeah, what is
allows
this?
people to do trades with smaller amounts of money, so you can partake in the stock market, but not have to have lots of money to throw into it. That cat here. Politicians need to live on minimum wage. Let's see. We have people excited in the chat room about their packages arriving. And of course, all good because he plans ahead.
Okay. Well,
Rub it in there.
me.
Let's see. What else do we have? Eric in Alaska has FedEx has a package that is sat in Tracy, California for the last week and a half.
Yes. And I replied, I have a package that is also in Tracy right now.
Yes, we have packages just sitting in Tracy. Who else has packages? There, I have a few packages in flux, but I don't know if it's because they're just not mailed. Or
I only have one thing I can think of. I got a mug
who wants to eat boiled pudding?
from Scammer Payback, with a YouTuber. I bought a different podcast's mug, but I don't think it's gonna be here before I'm taken off.
When do you leave?
I leave on Christmas Day.
That's like a day from now, basically.
It's 2 still-ish, day and a half-ish. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very soon. It's very, 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 very soon. Yeah.
And so you will be in the Denmark.
I'll be in Denmark for, well, hopefully, if they don't close it down, like, while I'm in the air, because there's been a lot of shutting down of borders going on again.
Right,
So it's
because
very
of the
nerve-wracking.
UK strain, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan, which it will, of course, hopefully, I think, then I'll be back in late January. Why are you blurry?
I don't know. I think my camera's had it.
Camera's like, I can't focus. We're having a Christmas party. I can't focus.
Nej, Caroline, men jeg kan forstå lidt dansk, men jeg kan ikke tale dansk.
Oh,
Yes,
you
you
get,
can speak a little bit of Danish, right?
Jeg kan tale lidt, men jeg kan ikke forstå. I can't understand. So Denmark's kind of a tricky language because it was 5 different languages at some point because they all got isolated. and they recombined, and they don't have like consistent spelling or pronunciation throughout the whole language. So trying to pick it up intuitively is tough. I can get by in somewhat of a conversation, but also Danish people tend to mumble a lot. They're big mumblers.
They obviously did not get raised by my grandmother.
No, that's a Norwegian. That's a Norwegian.
Uh-huh.
And the Swedes do speak like the Swedish Chef on the Muppets. They have the sing-songiest drawl. Ja, jag kan hear. They do that. It's like a real thing. It's not.
Are they like the southern Scandinavians?
I always know. I actually kind of wonder if like some of the U.S. drawl came from like a Swedish immigration at some point, because they drawl everything out. Caroline Bernard, Norwegians making fun of Danish. Have you seen is it Aussie? There's a comedian on Netflix from Iceland who makes fun of the rest of the North, the Nords, but makes particularly good fun of the Danes. It's on Netflix somewhere. I could look it up, I guess.
Oh, Thunder Beaver, I'm so sorry you missed your LED lights for your vehicles. That's another issue. Things getting delivered, things getting delivered wrong places, things getting stolen. Oh my goodness. I have noodles. I have a package that was routed. Where did it go? Routed to San Juan from Kentucky to New York City. That's good. Oh my goodness. May all your packages arrive in good time.
Yeah, it's fine.
May all your beverages fill you with something wet. May all your food feed you. And may your sleep give you rest. I just made up a new toast. Merry TWISmas, everyone! Merry TWISmas!
Got you, Carol. Got you. Jeg skal be glad for to be back in Denmark. It's also a very difficult language to learn because everybody there speaks English. And so you don't get a lot of opportunity to practice Danish because they want to practice their English more than you are good at Danish, or better than I can speak Danish anyway. So
either that, or they're just not willing to put up with you not knowing how to speak Danish. And
no, there is a little of that too, probably. But I always try like, jeg vil gerne have en øl. Are you trying to say you would like to have a beer, sir? Oh, yeah, that would be fine too.
That's great.
It's actually asking where the restroom was, but now that you mention it, that sounds like I'll do that first.
My favorite story from France, going into a bookstore, looking for a book, saying, "Avez-vous le petit prince?" We do, but would you like to speak English?
Yeah, I got that a lot in France, actually.
Yeah, they'll give it to you.
The first time I went, which was when I was still like, I think I was just out of high school, and I was like, oh, I know some French, because I had taken 3 years, and I was French honors and everything. And then I went back later after I had a minor in French, after I went to college, and people did it less, and I think it's because my accent was better. But yeah, if I went back now, I wouldn't even try.
Like, I'm not even gonna try.
I would not even try.
You know what? Okay, it is the holidays. Next week is our New Year's show, and we're gonna look back at the year.
Is next week the look back show?
Look back. Next
Okay.
week is the look back. So you're going to take a look back at the year in the next week.
Top 11 of 2020.
Yes. We're going to do
Okay.
this.
I think we should do top 12 maybe this time.
No?
Because I feel like every
we
time
do-
we've done a top 11, there's something that gets left out.
No, because we give those categories. They'll be like the special Blair Spider story or something else. It'll be good.
Okay. There's
Yeah.
the one-offs. The
It's the
things that
one-off.
didn't make the list.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Uncategorized.
prediction show. Yes, the prediction show comes in after the first of the year. That our annual prediction show will be.
Boy, did we miss it last time.
We sure did.
Did not predict this.
I was thinking about that.
Although I gotta go back and look at it because I might have just gotten lucky and accidentally predicted a pandemic. It
You
could
know,
have
we should
happened.
check. We always check. It's good to know what we predicted last year. I think that's
But
a great.
I think our prognostication powers, obviously. But this is again. All psychics have been debunked.
Yes.
All psychics.
Oh, everybody.
All psychics have been debunked again this year.
You're gonna get something right sometimes, and you're gonna usually get a lot
Yeah.
wrong.
And globally, because everyone's like, oh, well, there was a big event, but that was in a different country. I was only tracking my local. No. All psychics are done because this hit everywhere, and it was huge. And it's the biggest story that's been in the world at one time for the longest time since like the wars and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone missed it. Psychics are all debunked. We're done.
That much.
Identity 4 says the pandemic was his fault. Sorry. Identity 4, go stand in the corner for a while. I can't.
You're grounded.
My wedding. I don't want to hear it.
You need to go in your thinking corner. So,
Thunder
Yes.
Beaver, if I don't get to say it later, I hope everyone had a wonderful winter solstice and good times until we're here again. Yeah, Thunder Beaver. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is having a good, happy, safe, and happy, isolated, but still with enough interaction year. And then, once we get all vaccinated,
Great.
let's never talk about this again because we're all so sick of it. Let's just forget. Don't even teach your grandchildren about it. Were you alive during the? I don't know what you're talking about.
You have to teach them so they don't make this mistake again in 100 years.
They
And
will.
when everyone tells them to
People
wear
forget
masks
anyway.
and stay apart, they actually do it.
I hope that we can sing songs and write children's fairy tales that teach them to wear masks and socially distance and wash their hands when the bad viruses come. It'd be great. It's the fairy tales of the future for 20 years from now. It'll happen again soon. Anyway, we will have a great show next week, looking back at the year, and it's not all COVID. I said this last week, Blair. Next show is going to be so much more science than that. It's always great. It's going to be good. There's been such good science this last year. I'm so excited about next week.
Maybe
and then
we should do a top 10 and leave the COVID.
Stop. We're doing it like we normally do it. Stop. Then we might have some extra categories because we like that. We might do that. Okay, that's our show next week. We will say Happy New Year to everyone next week. But right now, I hope everyone is having a great holiday. I hope you all are able to do what you need to do safely. Spend some time, whether it's on Zoom or whether it's in your house with your family, with your pets, whatever it happens to be. But I hope you get that time to sit and think and be grateful for the moments that we do have, because it is a gift. It's the present. It's what we have. So we'll see you next week.
I really love this this family that we have on TWIS. It seems like such a good group of people, and it's always impressed me over the years.
People, I love you.
Yeah. Thank you for all for hanging out, and we'll see you next week.
We will. Yeah. I hope we do. Please come back. We'll be here. We'll be here. It was really fun to just have a night with everyone. So thank you for this. It was fun to have a TWISmas party. I like that. This
This
was
company party.
good. Yeah, we had the child eating too many brownies, getting antsy. It was great. We had
I got all my gifts wrapped.
You got your
I still
gifts
have
wrapped.
one somewhere.
It was good. I've had a couple of bourbons.
I have one more. Oh.
Nope. I mean, it's tea. It's great. Good night, Mommy. Good night, Kai. I love you. And I know that Kai is upstairs going to bed right now, and he.
Oh yeah, you gotta go read some books.
I gotta go read him a book, and I know he would probably love to say Merry TWISmas to one and all. Yeah. And he was very happy to be here tonight. I do know that, so it was great to have him on the show tonight. On our holiday party, it was good. Thanks, everybody. You ready to say goodnight, Justin?
Say goodnight, Blair.
Good night, Blair. Say good night, Justin.
Good night, Justin. Good night, Kiki.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you again next week. Merry TWISmas.